Lakers lost game one in large part because, I'll say it, Anthony Davis. Brandon's been banging that drum all year. Last night, AD not only showed up, Brandon, the guy balled out. Game high 34 against the Suns team that just wouldn't go away. But AD and LeBron both hitting those clutch shots late to seal the win.
He had a great
steal
quarter.
back home court advantage. All right, well, here's Anthony Davis after the win.
I don't put too much pressure on myself. I go out there and just play basketball. Play with a lot more energy and effort tonight. And just played aggressive. I think that was the difference from game one. But just watching some film, watching film from the finals when I played against Jay, and just learning from those situations and seeing what I can do to be effective on the floor to help my team. But that was it. Feeling like I can stand to myself. And just getting in the mode of, this is a must win. And I think we all came out with that mindset and we was able to get the job done.
All right, so if you watch this game, what you didn't see a lot of was Chris Paul. Monty Williams decided to limit his play when he saw CP3 struggling with that injured shoulder in the second half. Remember, he hurt that shoulder in game one. Ended up scoring just 6 points in 23 minutes. They could have used more of him. Here's the head coach with more.
I took him out. That was all me just looking at him hold his arm the way that he was holding it. I just couldn't watch him, run like that. He was trying to make plays. He battled. He's a warrior. We all know that. And I just made a decision to take him out.
All right, so let's take a step back and look at this. Did last night, Nick, swing the series for the Lakers?
Oh, Jenna, it swung the series. And I have an important announcement to make. Jenna, Wilds, Brandon, the brow is back again. He's 34, 10, and 7, dominating the Suns. He's back again. You thought he was gone, but now he's back.
You better be careful.
You knew it was coming.
You know what happened the last time you did that?
I know what happened the last time. I'm not worried, though. I tried to warn you. Oh, Anthony Davis doesn't shoot enough free throws. Are 21 enough for you? Anthony Davis doesn't bang on the offensive glass enough. Is a 30-plus point double-double enough? What about a little passing? The only thing you didn't criticize of him was his passing. He's like, I'm going to be great at that, too. How about, Anthony Davis can't shoot threes anymore. Dagger, game winner after LeBron's dagger. And by the way, LeBron's turnaround jump shot, was that Jordan-esque enough for all you fools?
Somebody's just turning the show on.
Hey, Brandon, do you see the difference between a feel-out game one and an important game two? Do you feel it? Do you see it?
Still not buying no fill-out game, LeBron James fill-out game. Who just throws the first game just let me see what's going on? No, that is not the that's not what happened here. What happened here was Chris Paul. Chris Paul's your MVP, Chris. I mean, Nick, Chris Paul is your MVP. This guy goes down the first game. He finishes. We don't know what's going on. Watching Undisputed in the gym yesterday, there's a report that says Chris Paul is not on the injury report. So everybody's thinking he's going to be fine. Did you see this guy hobbling around and, with his shoulder? He couldn't do anything. He played 23 minutes, 6 points. That is the difference. So, yes, the series has turned. The Lakers are going to dominate the series moving forward. Not because of AD. Not because of LeBron James. It's because of CP3 going down. That's the reason.
Brandon, I hate to do this to you. And normally, injuries are a valid exit ramp from a terrible, regrettable prediction like the one you've consistently made about the Suns. However, the injury happened in game one, and you tripled down on it yesterday. We knew Chris Paul was hurt. We saw it. We heard him say, I felt a pop. We saw him not be able to dribble the ball at the end of game one. And you were out here, the Suns are the better team. The Lakers are in trouble. LeBron doesn't know how to attack a playoff series. Question. So, just like I can't come out here and be like, well, I'm now worried about LeBron's ankle. That was already there. That was already there. And Chris Paul was not going to slow down Anthony Davis.
Oh, it doesn't matter about Anthony Davis. It has nothing to do. Anthony Davis had one good corner. Let's be real. And the three-pointer that you talked about, yes, it was a dagger. Come on. That's like me as a wide receiver saying, oh, I had 100 yards in a game and that was a good game. That's the standard. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. He didn't impact the game in a way where the Suns didn't have a chance. What I said yesterday and what I said last week was this. Given the situation with AD playing the way he was playing and LeBron James with his ankle, the Suns are a better team. The record speaks for itself. Chris Paul goes down. Chris Paul played 23 minutes. That's the difference. If Chris Paul was 100%, what would have been the outcome, Nick? Like, we got to have this conversation. You know, like we got to look at it, you know, not in the vacuum. We got to really have this conversation the right way. Because when you talk about CP3, man, he is your MVP. Think about that. You stood on the table for him being your MVP. Do you remember that, Wilds? Do you not remember that?
Yes. Well, he's my MVP. I love Chris Paul personally. I love him professionally. And I was legit bummed out because if people are like, we'll see how he can, what's up on Thursday. Maybe he's back. I'm like, woo. I don't feel good about that because we know that Chris Paul has the respect of his teammates, people around the league, and Monty Williams. This is not a Donovan Mitchell Jazz situation where like, hey, I'm ready to go and the team's holding me out. If Chris Paul was good enough to go, he could have had a conversation with Monty Williams and gone back in the game. In the fourth quarter with it on the line, that means he's really, really hurting. And I want to show you a sequence. I was like, uh-oh. This is what Nick was talking about with defense winning championships. This is with Chris Paul not on the floor. Third quarter, about 5 minutes left. This was the Suns offense. Okay, block from Caruso. All right. Now they get the ball out of bounds. Oh, it's out again. Now they eventually get a little. This is their shot. That's it. It goes over the rim. So look, Nick, this was because like this whole offense grinds to a halt without Chris Paul. This was like solid defense by the Lakers, and the Suns just look lost out there. I think this series is over. I don't think Chris Paul is going to be able to miraculously get healthy because if he was good enough to go, he would have gone last night.
And by the way, this is the second best team in the West. And the Lakers, after they play the Suns, they will not face any type of test until the NBA Finals against either Philly, Milwaukee, or Brooklyn, depending on who comes out of there. But I want to show a different sequence because this game was very late at night. The Clipper game was going on at the same time. The Lakers led for 41 of the final 42 minutes. But it was still in question late. With 3.5 minutes left, the Lakers have to get a stop. And what do? They force a shot clock violation. Very next time, LeBron says, in your eye. But now they got to get another stop. It's only a 3-point game. And what do? How about that terrible shot with LeBron guarding you? The very next time down the court, there's the Anthony Davis dagger. And then, so that's 2 stops. Not enough. How about we get 3 stops in a row? Again, it's a 6-point game, final 2 minutes, turnover, next time down the court for the Suns. How about 4 stops in a row, another turnover, and then, of course, LeBron ends the game right there. There are 2 kinds of schools of thought. Just let me finish this real quick, Brandon. You had the Nets sequence last night that showed playoff and regular season, whatever you want, offensive basketball at its highest level, where the ball is moving, guys are cutting, and anybody could have gotten an open shot, anybody could have gotten an open dunk, because the offense is right now a 99 out of 100 for Brooklyn. That was the defensive version of that. Critical moments of a playoff game you have to win. You get 4 stops in a row. It's not as pretty as what the Nets do, but it's just as important. And that's why the Lakers are in the position they're in, Brandon.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really a statement. And this is where you miss Chris Paul. I mean, that sequence that you showed was a huge one. It was the difference in the game. You can also talk about the run that the Lakers went on, and Coach didn't call it a timeout. So there's 2 major sequences in that game that really determined the outcome. This was a good game. You know, you had Payne that he stepped up. and he made some big plays on both ends of the court. But at the end of the day, when you're in those moments, you're in clutch minutes, that's where CP3 thrives. So that's where you miss this guy. So, yeah, the series is over because you don't have your general on the court. He's almost like Peyton Manning out there. That's who he is, Tom Brady, being able to beat guys with his mindset, his